Right, lovely work. Another dimension. Um, it has a lot of favorable aspects to it because you can facilitate different areas of the body in a unique way, and also get at some of the meridians that are on the lateral and deeper interior of the body. So sideline, head supported, knee supported if necessary. And then I like to look at the overall alignment of the person as they're on the mat, and if they aren't, I will place them in a position here. In structural work, how they call attention to when you're standing, they use these different road marks for alignment, like the ear and the head of the humerus and the greater trochanter and center of the knee, malleolus out. So just to get a general sense of alignment here, I'm looking at how Sarah is, and she's pretty good. The only obvious thing is here is like she's rolled back a little bit right here. So if we do this, then this comes into alignment, and this side is up. So this is going to get the majority of the work. So this hip is one thing because of the nature of the muscle and how the chi gets stuck. I'm going to do a simple exercise first just to open it up before we do the work. So we'll do this. So I'm going to stabilize here, and I'm in line with the body. I'm just going to take this leg and pull back. You see that space that goes into the hip, yeah? So, you want to work from a position of encouraged tissue. It's like give it a chance to receive a little bit. So this foot position is nice because it stabilizes the body. And again, it's just your body weight going back. So that's the opening salvo of the sideline. So we can start here. So we'll do a few things and then break it up. Start at the person's head. So here, one of the major meridians in sideline in the up position is gallbladder meridian. So gallbladder meridian starts here, we found out yesterday, and then it does this zigzag as it's trying to figure out what to do with you. And then it comes in front of the shoulder and all through the side here, the lateral compartment in between the ribs. It comes through the hip, right through the iliotibial band, right through the lower leg compartment, through the peroneal muscles, and then right out the foot, out the fourth toe. So it's this long meridian that can be influenced really, really well in sideline. So we'll start with a simple compression. So we're going to use this portion of the hand and just sink in like this. Temporalis, lovely pressure here, helps open up TMJ just with even pressure, and it helps facilitate the movement of gallbladder. Gallbladder is very responsible for a lot of headaches. There's so much energy and acupressure points on the gallbladder meridian that are in the sideline that there's half of the meridians of the points are here. Whole length of the meridian, but most of the points, or half of the points, are right here. So to spend some time just compressing to get some general looseness. So the meridian comes through the neck and then into the top of the shoulder. So we want to create some space here from the head to the shoulder. So again, in sideline, and I like to use these natural connections. So here's the head of the humerus. So I'm just going to do this and lean in with it. Look at the length, easy, just and one of the points on the gallbladder meridian, which is what we did in supine, working the head and neck, is gallbladder 21. And you could probably easily feel that on yourself right now if you use the simple direction of halfway between the base of the neck and the acromion process. On the highest portion of the upper trapezius, you'll feel like a little fleshy mound. So in this position, it's great to be able to lean in with your body weight and do some more sustained pressure. So again, you could feel the point, and then whatever your relationship is with how hard or soft you feel like you need to engage that point to allow the energy to start to dissipate. Because when you're feeling that manifestation of tightness and even a raised surface like that, that is excess energy. That is jitsu, as they say, like too much, right? So you're trying to disperse. So your thumb, if the person is big enough and the gallbladder chi is tight enough, trying to deal with it with your thumb, so tiring. So other things come into play, right? So you can do nice sustained pressure with the knee. Pressure's okay?
Yeah.
Easy, right? And especially if you're working with someone that has this excessive tightness, chronic, holding for whatever physical or emotional reason, sustain deeper pressure. And with the thumb, crazy after a while. With the knee, okay.
Which direction is your compression going?
Towards the smoke.
Yeah.
I use the smoke as a landmark. So, knee, yes, easy. Sometimes, because when it's excessive here, the trapezius can roll forward more. So I like to apply some pressure back into the point and then back. So rather than my knee, I'll do this where I use my forearm. So I can motion back. And then if you move the head this way, it goes deeper into the trapezius. Pressure's okay? I'm really close to your ear. Can you hear me really well? So nice, yeah? So that's great. You work on the side of the neck and the top of the shoulder and the side of the head from this position. So then, your natural curiosity, just like, I wonder how it would be to work on the shoulder girdle. And you're looking at how it is, so I have to move down there, I guess. So, let's see. So, in this sideline shoulder girdle, it's good that they're upright, not rolled forward or back too much. But also, too, to give nice support here. So my body is supporting them in this upright position. So that way, when you start to initiate some length, you can just be easy with the position, right? And my fingers are intertwined, and here you have this really nice chromium shelf, right? So look, if there was a loop sewed onto her skin, it wouldn't be as good. It's just like you can just lay back. And so you take out the slack, and just like the arm, okay, I've taken out the slack. And then I would suggest encouraging a little rotation out, because you think of all the shortness and restriction in the front of the body with the pec major and minor, which have attachments, right, on the humerus and the chromium process. I don't know. The coracoid process, the pec minor, right? Crow's beak. So working. A little tightness here. Do a little range of motion just to get it going. One way and then the other. And then a little movement here, so we're going to try. Come over here, you. So here's Sarah's vertebral border of her scapula, right? Well, it looks pretty inviting. I mean, it's moving well. It's not glued down so much, right? So I want to get under there a little bit and create a little space while I'm opening up the front of the shoulder. So what to do? So here, my leg, my fingertips, hooking. And I'm going to bring the shoulder onto my fingertips, taking up the slack until I feel like I'm hooked underneath there. And then I'm just going to shift like this. Because, it's just good for you. I don't know what else to say. Because you know how the scapula gets glued down. And you know how the shoulder gets rolled forward. So we're just creating a little motion here
This is a good way to pump the subscapula. So
You can
far
hook
there's-
underneath and do it a little bit.
I mean, just like pulling that
Yeah.
opens up the subscapula.
And also too, when you think about the the dynamic of what goes on in a typical shoulder girdle, rolled forward, right? And the last thing you need to do is start encouraging more length in the rhomboids, which I see so many people do. It's like, I said, well, they're already holding on for dear life, man. I mean, they're like this, you know. So give them a break, for Christ's sake. What do you want from them, you know? So this motion here, it goes into the attachment, to ease it up a little bit, and you're bringing it back so it shortens it a little bit, or lets it take a breath. And in the meantime, you're stretching here, which is the one that's pulling. So this is what that's all about, you know, because you want to approach it in stages, you know, tight shoulders. It's
Have
like,
you ever met a scapula you couldn't get underneath in this position?
oh sure,
What do you
right
do?
here on this island. It was a long, long time ago. So here's one thing I do. First of all, I might just walk away because
Yeah.
it's okay. You're better than me. It's okay. But this is a good way also. So you can come at the angle a little bit differently. Yes, Sarah?
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate.
Because then you use the arm as a lever.
And if they're tight in the pecs?
This will be good for me. Maybe you'll be up here, but it'll be good for them.
What's your foot on her sacrum?
I've worked my way down to the sacrum, yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, nice stretch. So then two more things to bring a little bit more specificity, and then we'll change. Okay? Shoulder girdle's huge all the time. Very dynamic. Not only, it changes the whole upper quadrant of the body, affects those key meridians, closes up your heart, restricts your lungs, makes your head go forward, compresses your posterior cervical vertebrae. Makes you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So, you know, let's do our part to bring a little sanity back into our existence. So here, we can start here. So one thing, so now here, working this a little bit, stretching here, but more stretching absolutely required for this area. So knees even with the shoulders. This is a pec minor stretch. So arm up. First of all, you know pec minor, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, below pec major, and its run of fiber is mostly 45, like a 45-degree angle as it attaches to the coracoid process, right? So it's this angle. So to stretch it directly, you want to have the stretch represent the angle of the muscle. So arm up and overhead a little bit, and then back. Yes, sir?
Mm-hmm.
It's a direct pec minor stretch. Yeah? Pretty tight. Okay. The placement of the arm brings specificity to the fibers. This pec minor stretch. Back here, pec major stretch. Over here, you don't quite know what you're doing. This is the range down here. No, get some more schooling, you know what I'm saying? Or open a book, or work on another body. You figure that out. Now, but this, so up, overhead, and then back, supported here. So this is the fulcrum. This is what it opens up on. So it's like, I could feel, but wow, it's so tight. Okay, here, I got something for you. Here, put this here. Base of the neck, right? So you want to take an inhale and exhale. You know? So easy. Easier to take, right? Even add in a little twist that opens up the fascia coming off of the distal angle of the scapula, and also a slight distraction. Also, too, you know, 2 points of stimulus, they get a little confused, they do. So it's hard to overly focus on one area because it distracts you, and then before you know it, you're in the stretch.
Are you hooking the trochanter there?
I am. Okay. And then one other thing, because y'all are just so awesome. So here. So come over here now. This is my favorite part. Right over there. No Brandon today, just go on over there. No. Say, okay, so here. I'm just simply transitioning to this last thing. So I'm here. A little bit more work here. Pec major, pec minor. A little bit more. So, up on one knee, one foot. Arm, like this. Pec major, pec minor. Yes? Pec major. Here, both sides, right? Leaning back. There's a little smile, just a little bit, not too much. Perhaps to hide the pain. We don't really know, but we're just rolling it out. So here's another thing about pec major. Here's another thing. You know, when it gets tight, the fibers underneath, the bottom fibers of pec major have a tendency to curl under, and it adheres to the rib cage. So along with opening up this way, my thumbs are engaging those bottom tissues and rolling them out, right? So, and I'm using the position of the arm to get in there, but as I engage the tissue, I'm rocking back, so I'm using my body weight to open it up, and my thumbs are like dragging the tissue out. And believe me, it doesn't want to come with me. It's resistant, but now it's going over. So this rocking motion also helps, right? And then, after they've been lulled into a sense of security and safety, we end with pec minor from this side. So here, just below pec major, pec minor. But rather than, again, in an area where it's not good to poke around if any area actually is, if you get below the pec major and just feel for the rib cage and slide on the rib cage up, you go right into the lateral border of pec minor. You know what I'm saying?
That was great.
Okay. So then you can do digital compression into the lateral side of pec minor, and that's where it engages the strongest on the rib cage. So that's where the fascial bind. That's a nice breath. You know. So, and you can work, you know, a good amount of it in this position. And then also there's a sense of pinning and then stretching the muscle once it loosens up a little bit. So it coax a little length in there. Okay? And that's the story of the shoulder girdle. So let's get together and I'll lead you through that, okay? And we're